Hey guys, welcome back to the Real Deal Podcast. As always, I'm your host Keeona, and I am here with Shawn and Zack.
Hello.
Hello.
How you guys doing?
Good.
Good.
I'm doing pretty
In all
good.
fairness, Zack, I have missed you on here. I meant to tell you that before we started because you haven't been here in like the couple of weeks, but like I've missed you on here personally.
Thanks.
Yeah. Sean saying good. I mean, Sean, I see you like almost all the time, but good to have you on.
Yeah.
But for today, we are talking about the worst movies of the year so far. Now, in all fairness, not a lot of movies have come out to where, I mean, there have been some bad movies, but like not a lot has been released because we're only in the month of April. So,
Yeah.
I mean, I don't know. And we were all talking about some terrible movies, but
Yeah.
Well, to start off, I saw Minions: Rise of Gru over the summer.
that was cute.
Yeah, I liked it. I'm like, I don't know why people would shit on this because it's
Are you
obviously.
kidding me? It's cinema. I dressed up in a suit and tie with
Yeah,
the boys.
exactly. Exactly. It's
Dude.
probably geared towards little kids, so like, let's
Little
go
kids?
easy on them,
Little kids.
right? Wouldn't you say little
I'm
kids?
20 years old.
Oh, okay.
That always makes me feel so
I guess
good.
I don't know. As a 20-year-old, I wasn't really like looking forward to it, but I guess.
Yeah, no, I'm joking, but like.
How can you forget Knocked Over from Gru?
Yeah. No, I saw the movie last summer. I thought it's a kids movie, so
Yeah.
I don't know. But,
We're all kids at heart.
yeah. But speaking of Illumination, a movie that did come out this year, I'm not bringing it up because I think it's bad. I'm bringing it up just because really the critics haven't been vibing with it, and some people think it's mid, some people think it's great, some people think it's bad.
Yep.
It's the Mario movie, and I thought it was fine. Like,
Yeah.
I think it's a fun movie to watch with people. It's obviously geared towards children, but as a person that's like the Mario games, a lot of the references, I'm like, that's fine. But all
Yeah.
the hate the critics have been given. I remember seeing one review that said, like, this is one of the biggest insults, and some person said that this is worse than the live-action movie, which is a lie. The live-action movie, in the live-action movie, very, very just poorly timed scene, just poorly done scene where this was in the 90s, so this is before it happened, but the Twin Towers turned to ash in that movie.
Oh, jeez.
Are we talking about the live action?
Live action.
Wait,
Oh,
Yeah,
yeah.
and this is like 10 years before 9/11.
didn't
so.
Bowser look super weird in it too?
He was a human, and he brought up the very inspirational, lovely meme of someone just going, monkey.
Yeah.
Because, I think he turned someone to monkey with a gun, and he's just like, monkey! And my life was changed ever since I saw that clip. So, yeah.
But and I explained this on last week's episode where we were talking about the Mario movie. It wasn't great, but it also wasn't bad. It was
Yeah.
just meh. Even though, funny that you mentioned the live action movie. One of the stars, John, I always get his name wrong, John Leguizamo.
Oh, the guy who played Luigi?
Yeah, he's
Yeah.
been trash talking about it.
No.
Was Chris Pratt as bad as people were like?
No, he was
saying?
fine.
He was
like,
fine.
The
Okay.
trailers I felt used the worst takes. Like there's a scene where he's
Okay,
on the
fair
Mario
enough.
Kart thing and he's like in the trailer he's like wahoo, and in the movie he actually sounds better. He's excited during that scene. He's like woo wahoo, like he sounds like Mario, and I was
Yeah.
just like, which intern was like trying to like,
Yeah, someone got
who's
fired.
doing that? No, but he wasn't the worst part of the movie. I'd say the worst actor in the Mario movie was Seth Rogen because he
Really?
Okay, I saw it again recently with my friends, and anytime Seth Rogen did his iconic laugh, we laughed. That was because it was so out of pocket. Just like it's just a scene where it's like, hey, I'm Seth Rogen, here's the laugh, I'll prove it, and it's yeah.
Well, I watched a weird horror movie a while ago. It's called Barbarian, and if you're, it had Justin Long in it. And if you're familiar with Justin Long, he did like Tusk and
Going the distance.
Yeah. And it was really good, but it was interesting because in the movie, Bill Skarsgård, who has played Pennywise, and I'm sure he'll play other terrifying characters, but he was kind of set up to be like the villain in the movie, and then it takes a complete 180, and
Oh yeah, spoilers for Barbarian.
yeah, he
Yeah.
like just dies, and then the movie changes, and it introduces like this creature that's living in the basement of this rental home, and it was really good. But if you're not expecting it you might like question like what the hell's going on.
That's what I
and-
like the most. Like
Yeah.
going in not knowing what's
But
happening.
yeah, but looking back on it, I'm like, well, a movie hasn't like done that, hasn't made me feel that way in a long time.
Yeah.
So I guess in that aspect, I liked it.
Yeah.
So
Yeah.
When you brought Barbarian for a minute, I thought you were about to say it was trash. I was about to be like, okay, you gotta explain.
did you see it?
Yeah, I saw it.
Yeah,
I
it's
loved
pretty.
it.
It
Yeah.
was awesome.
A hot take on the table. But that's me. Like, that's the thing. When I go to see movies, like, I'm like, okay, I'll say this. I'm a love. Sometimes when I watch a movie, I'm like, oh, it wasn't that bad because I don't want to judge a movie that I
Yeah.
think it's terrible. But then,
Yeah.
like, there's one movie that I saw years ago that I really wanted to see, and it was really disappointing. It's this movie called Peace, Love, and Misunderstanding. And it had Elizabeth Olsen on it, Chase Crawford, Nat Wolff, and Jeffrey D. Morgan. And I don't know. I guess I don't know. I watched it. I mean, it was okay. Like some parts during
Yeah.
the movie, but then at the same time, it just kept on being like I just felt like it was dragging a little bit with the whole story. And I thought it was supposed to be like this whole heartwarming felt drama when it was that, but then at the same time, it just felt a little stale to me. So.
Zach, did you see Men?
Oh, last year? Oh,
Yeah,
I thought
Alex Garland.
I thought it was good. Some people thought it was bad.
I
thought it
actually
was,
didn't like it.
Yeah, I thought it was fine, but it's like
was-
going into a movie like that, you gotta understand what you're getting into. Like, it's a very weird experimental art house horror, so
Yeah.
it's gonna be weird. And that movie,
And
like,
sometimes I like movies like that, but
Yeah.
I watched this one and I'm like, okay, and I looked it up and I'm like, oh, okay, I see what they're doing, but I did not like it at all. I don't know.
I haven't seen that
It was
since.
just
It's,
really, it was almost like weird without a purpose. But that was my opinion. So
yeah, like I thought it's not like a remarkable movie, but I did appreciate some things it was doing. I did think like it was a good movie. I gave it a good
Yeah.
score, but like it's something I'm not dying to rewatch. I don't know. It didn't like have something. It's something I'm especially not dying to rewatch. I'm not gonna go too in depth with it because I've already talked about it. I've already reviewed it on here, and also something like to bring up when I reviewed it in between takes and stuff, the people behind us, they interact with us for the first time. They're like, "Is it really that bad?"
I know what you're talking about
Oh,
too.
yeah. I
was,
remember that.
Ant-Man and the Wasp:
Yep.
Quantumania. Yeah, I think that's for me. That's the biggest bad movie standout of the year so far. Like it was just really not enjoyable. I know some people like it, but I completely despised it.
I still haven't seen it, but then I've told you this before. If you reviewed it and you say that it's not good, I'll take your word on it.
Yeah, but everyone has their own opinions. Like some people liked it, so I mean, yeah, you probably would. I don't know, or
Yeah.
maybe you'll hate it. I don't know.
Yeah.
it's subjective.
Yeah,
Like,
it is.
Art is subjective.
Yeah.
And another movie that I want to see, and we were talking about it before we started, is people think that it's going to be bad. It's Shazam: Fury of the Gods.
Yeah.
I want to see that because I mean I like Zach Levy, I do, but I don't know. People are saying that this is not going to be good.
Yeah. I haven't seen it yet. I'm waiting for HBO Max, and the thing is, I feel like here's the thing. I do want to see it. I want to support the movie. I want to see how it is because I do like the director. He's a really talented indie horror filmmaker, and the stuff he did with the first Shazam. I thought it was cute. I thought it was a fun movie, but a lot of the press for this movie, they didn't really promote it too much, and I feel like a lot of the drama with DC right now, it made this film feel like, okay.
I mean, I feel like with most DC movies that they release, they don't do that big a promotion unless if it's a bigger star in the movie.
Yeah, and I mean, also just everything, there's a lot of drama behind this movie, especially with Dwayne "The Rock" Johnson, which,
Oh boy,
if you
here we
don't know,
go.
so this has to do with mainly Black Adam. So Black Adam last year, it came out and it was promoted as a movie that would change the DC universe, thanks to The Rock, and it kind of did. So Black Adam is a Shazam villain. He is not a villain to Superman. He's just literally Shazam's main antagonist. But since The Rock has a lot of clout and his own studio was also helping with the Black Adam movie, he had a lot more control.
Oh, he has his
so
own studio?
He wanted it to be so he would be the next big main villain, not for Shazam. When the Shazam people wanted to use him for the next movie, he said, no, we're going to use my own movie. And they try to be like, okay, do you want to at least cameo in Shazam too? He's like, no. And they're like, okay, well, we're going to use the Justice Society to set up something else with Shazam. And he's like, no, Justice Society were in my movie, so I don't want you to use the Justice Society in your movie. Like, Dwayne Johnson was doing everything in his power to separate himself from Shazam, even though he's literally Shazam's antagonist. And he tried to make it so he'll be the center of attention and everything. And I feel like it affected Shazam in some bad ways. Also, after Black Adam and it bombed and everything, DC, they're doing a hard reset. James Gunn, he's going to be taking over and everything. So I feel like I do want to see this anyways because, like, even though it's not part of the cinematic universe, I want to see, like, how it turned out and everything. But a lot of people didn't want to see this because since we're getting a universe reset soon, it's like, okay, I guess so.
But now that you bring that up, that Black Adam is supposed to be Shazam's like main villain. Like, I mean, I get Dwayne Johnson wanting to separate himself and just have his own standalone movie. But like, if he's part of Shazam's story otherwise, then I feel like they should at least like had tidbits in him or like little hints to like oh, I'm coming, and then he can have his own standalone movie.
They did. So in the first Shazam, there's a deleted scene. Granted, it's deleted, but it's shot. People have seen it. It's on the Blu-ray. And basically, the kids, they're all sitting around like that Shazam-looking place, and they're like, oh, we have our own chairs. They're like, hey, who's that for? And it's like obviously setting up Black Adam, and they're like, I don't know, I guess someone that we're going to meet at some point soon. And so stuff like that's funny because it's never going to happen, especially like the post-credits scene for Black Adam when he meets up with Henry Cavill's Superman, just for a week later them saying, Henry Cavill's not back. He didn't sign anything, which I feel bad for Henry Cavill.
Oh, yeah, I do too.
Oh, my goodness.
Well,
but,
I've definitely been lacking in the superhero category, but another one.
You're not missing out.
Yeah,
More of this.
One of my favorite directors working today, his name's Robert Eggers. He did The Witch and The Lighthouse.
Yeah.
I mean, amazing, right?
Yeah.
And so I love The Lighthouse. That's one of my favorites ever, probably.
Yeah.
And well, he did a third one. It was called The Northman. It was with Alexander Skarsgård. It had Ethan Hawke, Anya Taylor-Joy, Willem Dafoe, and all these actors. And it was, I know we're talking about bad movies. It wasn't bad. I loved it, and I had to watch it a second time to really okay, I understand what's going on here. But it was, I think it was definitely the weakest because it was kind of a departure from his really weird horror, whatever he does. I don't know how he did it. Like The Lighthouse was a horror movie, but it was also really funny too.
Yeah.
And The Witch was just straight up scary. But,
I have to say, you had me on the edge of my seat for a minute because both of your things, when you brought up Barbarian and then the Northman, I love the Northman and Barbarian. So when you started bringing up the Northman, I was on the edge of my seat. I'm like, is he about to say this movie's trash?
No. It's not bad. I think it was the weakest one because I don't think there was as much character development, but I think there was also as much as what you could have in a movie that he was doing. Does that make sense?
Yeah, I find
the story he was telling, it didn't really need a bunch of character development. He was just a ruthless killer, and he wanted to get his revenge, and that.
So
cool,
we got enough backstory as it is. You didn't need to add on to it. That's what you're trying to say.
I loved it. It was just probably not my favorite out of the three.
I gotta say, for me, with Robert Eggers' films, I think it's Lighthouse, Northman, and The Witch. That doesn't mean The Witch is a bad movie. I think it's a great movie, but I don't know, Northman and Lighthouse for me personally, I think they're just a little bit up there.
The next two, they just seem way more prolific, especially The Lighthouse, because I think that was coming out. It came out around the time the new Batman movie with Robert Pattinson.
That was 2019. That's when they announced it.
Okay. Yeah. Okay. Well, I think that was a span of time where Robert Pattinson was really in the limelight, and so
he was.
And I think Willem Dafoe. I mean, talk about a career comeback.
Oh my goodness! I mean, when did Willem Dafoe ever leave?
I don't think he ever did. That is true. But
can the Spider-Man come out to play?
Oh my God.
Yeah.
Me and you can roll this city, Spider-Man.
Yeah.
Or we can,
literally
fight to the death.
Damn, dude, that was a good
That
impression.
broke my. I do that all the time to mess around with my friends. Just, oh my God.
Wow.
But in my opinion, the man never misses. He Life Aquatic, mad trip. That picture, It's so good.
You know,
but
I'm something of a Willem Dafoe appreciator myself.
yeah.
I mean, Spider-Man is something that I grew up watching, and obviously his villain is the most memorable one. And actually, Spider-Man 2 was actually the first movie I saw in theaters. But since we're still on the topic of superhero movies, Morbius.
I think it's cinema. Morbius is an achievement that we will never reach again. It brings up so many topics that need to be discussed, and it really affected me so much, especially because, like, cinema is an art form. It's been dying recently, and Morbius brought back so much faith. Like, Martin Scorsese saw the movie, and he said it was one of the greatest movies ever made. He really did. Like, that's not a joke. I mean,
and that's coming.
I mean, the internet would never lie.
And that's considering that we have Draculas like Bela Lugosi and Gary Oldman and Adam Sandler. I mean, come on.
Especially Adam Sandler. Like, Jared Leto
and
just
now
came
Nicolas
in.
Cage.
Oh my, and then Jared Leto came in and just set a new standard.
What is it? 30 Seconds to Mars.
30 Seconds to Mars. Like the scene where he starts singing with his band, it was insane. I'm like, this is at another level. Like, especially when, like,
Dracula's got bars.
He has bars, and also like so many scenes in that movie. It just hit me so hard. Like when Martin Scorsese, not Martin Scorsese. Who else? When Daniel Day-Lewis came on screen for that surprise, and he started
and he never makes appearances. He never makes appearances, so you know it was a big deal.
Yeah, and he was just acting like the guy from There Will Be Blood.
Daniel Day-Lewis,
and started talking about Mario, like the Mario movie coming out. I was like, this is cinema. This is really cinema. Of course, I'm joking. It's a bad movie, but I love it so much. It is so fun.
I actually never saw it.
I saw it, and I said this before we started too. Like, I wanted to see it because everybody was telling me, even most of my friends were like, it's so bad, it's not really worth your time. Even more, the more reason to go watch it. But then they were kept on telling me, like, why would you want to go see it if you don't want to take our word on it? Because I'm like, I want to watch it just so that you guys are not lying to me.
Yeah.
And I watched it. I was like, man, I am disappointed. As much as I like Jared Leto, I'm just like, I'm sorry. Like,
there should be call-outs for Morbius like there is for Rocky Horror. I think that'd be like, because it's a shitty movie, but I think that would. There's such like what?
Wait, not Rocky Horror. He meant like.
I was about to say like.
No.
I was about to say like.
No. Like I'm just saying like there's. I think there's like a cult following. Yeah. You know how like Rocky Horror has a cult following, and so I think that
like midnight screenings.
Yeah, exactly.
Even Pink Flamingo has like midnight screenings like that.
Oh,
and
really?
I think.
I mean that's at least what I heard. So.
Oh, okay.
And
sorry.
If Morbius hasn't already done it, if it. I think continued to develop more of a following just because, like The Room with Tommy Wiseau. Yeah. I think it could probably change the viewing experience. Or maybe you could heckle Jared Leto by throwing garlic at the screen. Or,
I own that movie.
Throwing garlic.
I own that movie digitally because I got a DVD copy and it came with digital code. But so the story behind my experience with Morbius, I saw it opening night. I knew it was going to be bad. But it just blew me away. It was so entertainingly bad. I was laughing so hard. And then the memes came out like, it's Morbin time, which is not really in the movie, but I will gaslight everyone to thinking it is from the movie. It's a real line. When he looked into the screen and said it's Morbin time, I never felt more empowered in my life.
And wasn't Morpheus supposed to be a part of the MCU?
They tried to do that. They tried.
I'm so glad they didn't.
Yeah.
I will say... To Marvel's credit, I'm sure Guardians of the Galaxy Volume 3 is going to be super sad because he's going to die. Rocket's going to die.
Okay, I think they're debating everyone. Like it seems like.
Do you think he will?
I don't like. Here's the thing. I know they're making a big deal about it, like all the sad things. I'm like, okay, if he dies, that's expected, but I won't see that as a flaw of the movie. Like if they do well, then cool. But I don't know. I feel like they're gonna juke everyone. He's alive,
Maybe.
but he a lot of the other Guardians.
If
die.
Rocket does die, I'm gonna be so sad.
Yeah, but back to Morbius really quickly. So then afterwards, I just started showing it to friends. I've showed it to my coworkers. I've showed it to my friends, and the more I watch it, the more bad you find from it. And I remember I bought a DVD, and this is my farewell thing from before I left for college for Ball State. Basically, after we watched the movie, we went outside and we destroyed the DVD. And like it did come with a digital code, so I'm like, okay, if I ever want to show this to everyone, I don't have to rent it again. I don't have to buy a DVD. I just like pull up my movies anywhere and I can show it to them. So
See, I think what Marvel would benefit from is like if they had, and I just recently heard that like Kevin Feige wants to like take on more experienced directors, and so like I think with movies like Morbius, they would benefit from like more of a direction, like. Instead of what it was, what if it was like a crime noir, and it was like black and white?
Those are my favorite movies, like crime noir-y movies. I love those.
Yeah.
So one last thing I want to say is, Feige isn't behind the Sony
Feige.
ones. He like that's.
Wait, what did you say?
Feige or Feige. I said Feige. Kevin Feige.
Yeah,
because I'm like, wait, what is there a Kevin Feige like?
Yeah.
But what were you gonna say?
It's a different, like it's Sony that handles that stuff, but like if it's a Spider-Man movie in the MCU, then they're behind.
My bad. Okay.
Yeah, like Venom, Morbius, those are different crew people. And
me when I spread misinformation on
the internet. Let's go.
The internet is a lovely place for things that are untrue. But we are unfortunately out of time. But I want to thank you both for joining me. And go check out Morbius.
It's a great movie.
Yeah, it really
is.
It's on Netflix. Oh, yeah, it still is. Really not worth your time. But thank you guys so much for watching. And we will see you guys next time.